Y'all already know the rules. When you come in my house, take off your shoes and super violate that like button. Now, as y'all can see, we got a special guest in the building. S1.
What's good?
Introduce yourself, boy.
S1, man. Straight out of the Bronx, Castle Hill Projects, man. 10473 area. People know me from being down with Bang Bang Boogie back in the day. It's a rap group from the Bronx. Me, Hocus 4/5, Lord Tariq, Cuban Link, and it's another guy. Oh yeah, his name Mysonne. And
Mysonne, lefty, gun up in the right palm, popping niggas in they sleep so they die calm. Killer be killed. Yo, I remember when I first heard Mysonne, I was sitting in the car with Xavier Williams. And he was playing Mysonne. I never met Mysonne then, but you know that's where where I heard Mysonne's music at, or whatever the case may be, and was a diehard supporter and fan of Mysonne. I'll be straight up and be real about that. My fallout, because I'm gonna start with my problem, just for niggas to understand. Where my fallout came from with Mysonne, as everybody know, I came out on Africa Bambaataa, and I saw Mysonne on social media protesting the death of Deborah Danner, the woman that owned
from my block, Deborah Danner.
Deborah Danner, yeah, the police just turned her TV off.
66-year-old lady. Mm-hmm.
Turned her TV off, like did the old woman dirty, you know. So Mysonne was out there, and I'm seeing him day after day going out there, and he was protesting. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna go out there right now. I'm doing the Africa Bambaataa thing. He doing the Deborah Danner thing. Maybe he could give me some help. At the time, he had a bigger platform. He had a bigger name, and you know, on the internet, I was nobody. Actually, I had 5,000 followers because I was always into my dogs. So I goes out there, see Mysonne, and we chopped it up, and you know, he gave me his word that he was gonna help me.
Ooh.
And as time went on, I started to realize that the Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, and him was fake. And
for commercial purposes,
it was commercial. He was a paid activist. You know, at that time, I don't know if he was actually getting his pockets greased then, but you know, for the most part, it was like I really needed help, and he was really the voice of Mysonne was the voice of the streets. So I thought. So this is where, you know, I don't hate Mysonne. I was hurting, and I needed his help. I don't hate Mysonne. I was hurting, and he's hip hop. You see what I'm saying? So you expect hip hop to do what hip hop do, you know. But one day I had a talk with him, and he was like, "Yo, you know, that's the Zulu Nation. That's that. That's that nigga. That's the coward way out. I don't really want to get involved." So now you don't want to get involved, you know, because he hit me up after some time, and he reached out to me after me, you know, going at him on the internet because he seen Eric Bennett. He already knew about X, and I guess they was having whatever conversations that they was having, you know, if he spoke to him. But when he seen Eric Bennett on my page, and that's my right hand. They grew up together too. You know, Eric grew up in between Highbridge and Bronx River. So, you know, my whole thing is I needed the brother. Really needed the brother. And he wasn't there for me. And I get it. You know, your ambulance chasers.
Yeah, they pick their issue.
Pick and choose your battles. But one of the biggest battles in the hood, what niggas don't talk about, is that when Jay-Z say, broke niggas don't want no cash. They just want to kill you. Why they so mad? A lot of niggas ain't gonna sit up there and say, yo, nigga got me. The evil stepdad or the uncle, everybody holds the family secret. We know we got a lot of R. Kellys in the family. And the truth of the matter is a lot of women would rather their children take that to the grave or ignore the fact that it happened to their children instead of being real and coming out and say, yo, we gonna deal with this R. Kelly in public. You know what I mean? We're going to deal with this R. Kelly. So a lot of niggas that wild out and end up in jail, nobody really knows why they so angry and they mad, but that's why they mad. Me, I was just the nigga that said it. But so where did your issue come from with Mice? Like, what's the problem with y'all? Because, you know, y'all was like really, really strong back in the days.
I mean, Mice, he basically wasn't who I thought he was. You know, when he first came home back in 2006, I fully embraced Mysonne. I'm a big fan of hip hop. I bought all those Rough Rider albums back in the day, the ones that he was on. Well, the one that he was on, and that's the same one that you spit in that verse in the beginning. That was his verse from there. And so I liked the music, and I felt like he didn't get his fair shot. So being that he just came home and left hip hop for 7 years, and me and Hocus 4/5 and the rest of the KOC and the Castle Hill Sound crew, we had a little buzz within the hip hop, especially in the Bronx. We fully embraced them. So I automatically come genuinely at someone, you know, like with all genuine intentions. And the thing with Mice is, I didn't know at that time, but what I know now, he's just an industry dude. You understand? Like, he talks a good one. Mice is the position he hold right now, whatever that is, as far as being in politics, that's exactly who he is. Because, you know, politicians talk a good one, but at the end of the day, nothing changes. All it is they fill up their pockets and their agendas. They appease and piece off the people that they want to piece off and take care of, and they just go into hiding. So Mice, my issue with him is when I came home, before I came home, he came to see me about 5 years ago, and we had some plans. We had a discussion about where he see me as far as being a part of his organization, because he asked me to be a part of his organization, which is an organization, I don't want to say the name, I don't want to get it wrong, but I forgot the name. But
Until Freedom.
Until Freedom. He wanted me a part of that organization. And I was like, you know, all I can do is speak and tell my story. You understand? So that's all I wanted to do. Now, if you could use that and incorporate my story into your agenda, and it helps bring you light or whatever, give you the credibility or whatever, then I'm all for it. But as far as like going out there protesting, I wasn't in that mind state yet, because I was in prison all that time. I did a lot of time, 15 years, 9 months. So basically, when I came home, it was all love. He picked up the phone once or twice, and he had a whole itinerary. He basically said, yo, this is what we're going to do step by step. So cool. I know I got to give a man some time, so I didn't rush things. Haj, I'm not going to rush this situation. You let it come to us, right? Let it come to me. So he basically stopped picking up the phone, and it was like I was bothering him, you know, sending my call to voicemail. So a mutual friend was with me, and I was like, yo, I'm gonna call Mice right now. This is days later. You know, I said, I'm gonna call Mice right now, and I'm gonna see if he's gonna pick up the phone, right? Called him, he didn't pick up the phone. So I told my other man, I said, yo, call him real quick. Soon as my man called, he picked up the phone real quick. But this is somebody that he could benefit off of. So he's like, yo, what's up, man? I felt that was phony. I grabbed the phone. Yo, Mice, what's up, baby? What's going on? That right there, I knew the relationship was over. Because one thing I don't do phony. You know what I'm saying? You was telling me that you wanted to help me and help me to help you. And it was supposed to be a symbiotic relationship, and it didn't take off. I could have just accepted, yo, I can't mess with you no more. I can't deal with you anymore. But from what I was hearing, he was telling people, being that I was affiliated with gangs and stuff like that in my past, he couldn't stand next to me. And that hurt more than anything, because I'm like, how you can't stand next to me when I'm just coming home and I'm actually working for a nonprofit doing the work that you're doing? You can't stand next to me because of my past. But in my past, you only wanted to stand next to me because I was affiliated and was in a gang and all around gang members and stuff like that. So Mice, I just completely cut him off. You know, he tried to call here and there when I be coming at him on the internet, and I just give him my explanation. Like, listen, I don't hate you, my brother, but when you do something, I'm going to bring it up, I'm going to expose it, and I'm going to, you know, challenge you, because at the end of the day, I see what this is about. You only care about clout. You know what I mean?
It's funny that you say that, because it's like, okay, So he don't want to stand around you, but he was around Trife Gangster.
Yeah.
A gang member, GKB.
Yeah.
Peace almighty, peace, blood. I don't get that. But I do get it because Trife, I guess, you know, he had his movement. And yes, at one point in time, he was using Trife for his energy because when me and him was arguing on the internet, well, actually, he didn't even argue with me. Mysonne was slick. He just tagged Trife in the beef that me and him was going through. And then it became me and Trife. And my whole thing is like, okay, so you sicked another nigga on me that you feel get busy, but
yes.
I'm not a nigga that back down. So now some words and things exchanged between me and Trife that can never be undone while Mysonne is sitting around, riding around like, you know what I mean? Like, so when me and Trife see each other, there's no telling how that's going to turn out.
And he's the cause of it.
And he's the cause of it. So he gets to, you know, go run and do whatever he do. But my whole thing with me, with Mysonne, what I be trying to make him understand is, like, don't let me be getting shot in the projects fool you. I was on a emotional roller coaster ride. If you run down on me in the streets like you think you big tall Mysonne, I'm going to make you levitate. You got to understand that. So the ring is your best option. There is no running down, hey, yo, like you going to G-check this. That's not going to happen. When you see me and you approach me, you better approach me with caution. And this is what the nigga need to understand because, I mean, I'm just not like...
He gets it confused. You see, look, Mice, he hung around or know people from the street. You know, he's from the neighborhood. You understand? So he thinks that somehow, some way, his rap talent actually, like, he basically was a street dude from his rap talent, and that's what...
What you're saying is, Mr. Gangster, but woke, you got to remove the gangster out of that. No, he's not a gangster.
He's nowhere near a gangster. You know what I'm saying? Mice is no gangster.
Scooby-Doo.
And this ain't even me shouting it out. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this ain't me putting him on blast. He know he's not a gangster, right? Because at the end of the day, like, we don't want to be gangsters anymore. Anybody that say I'm a gangster but woke or I'm a gangster this, you know they're not gangster. This is for entertainment purposes only. You know what I'm trying to say? Just for entertainment purposes.
The nigga said your lifestyle is for entertainment.
It's for entertainment purposes only. Like I'm talking about if you see him fired up on TV and he giving a speech, as soon as the cameras cut off, he's like, how did I do? Like, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't from a genuine place. You know what I'm saying? Mice is all for cameras and television. And you know what? Mice is still, at the end of the day, somebody that I have a history with. So I don't want to dog him out too much, but I'm going to just say that he is like the epitome of what I call phony culture.
No, I got the perfect name for him. I call them ambulance chasers.
Yeah.
Even to the point where you seen the mother of Tamir Rice told him, stop mentioning my child.
Yes.
Stop mentioning my child. Then he sat up there and said, I don't talk about your child. Nigga, you made a whole verse about her child. Stop lying, my nigga. What you know what I mean? It's sad when the parents of the deceased get to the point where they get frustrated because they see that these dudes be going through back doors and getting budgets, so much to the point to where that they budget with them in Black Lives Matter of $90 million.
Yeah, I seen that. $90 million. Buying $6 million homes and things like that. And then they're saying that those are resting places for the people that come off of the marching. And I got a place for y'all to stay now. Like, come on, man.
$90 million?
A $6 million house? This is where the protesters are arrested?
Three different mansions?
You know, but it's all a ploy. It's all a ploy. And look, our people, we so hurt in this country. We so messed up and we had so much things done to us that at this point, it's desperation. We'll do anything and we'll support anybody who even say they helping. You understand? You don't even gotta do the actual work like a Dr. King or a Stokely Carmichael or Malcolm X or any of these real freedom fighters. You don't even have to do the work. You can just say you do the work and you're going to get the benefits of the, you know, like you was doing the work. Because a lot of our leaders, this is what a lot of people don't know. People are raising hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars, right? And they don't know where to give the money, right? So Mice, he makes some noise on his faction, his crew or whatever. They're gonna send the money to Mice because it just makes sense. You understand what I'm saying? They're not seeing the money through. So the money is just going there. They're like, oh, I did a good thing. I gave it to the right people. Not knowing that these are not the right people. They don't even got a plan.
My whole thing is, Mr. Gangster but Woke, your organization was birthed by Al Sharpton. Tamika Mallory was birthed by Al Sharpton, a government informant. You see what I'm saying? On top of the fact that Mr. Gangsta but Woke put himself out there like he's the Malcolm X of America, but the whole time we footing the bill for you to be on airplanes and hotels all around America. That wasn't your wife you was laying up in a hotel with, my nigga. And word on the street, your wife is gone, my nigga. And all we see, nigga, I got videos in my phone with him slow dancing with Tamika Mallory. Yeah, I got videos, nigga. Sit, I just didn't put, and I'm like, you know, Mr. Gangsta but Woke. How do you explain to your son why daddy's not coming home? How when you was out there supposed to be Superman saving America, Captain Planet, how do you explain to your son why mommy and daddy is not together?
He ain't got no explanation. You know what? I think he just moving off of a. He just like on autopilot with his life. It ain't even like no plan.
We really need we need answers. You know, I need to understand how the woman that was there, your Coretta Scott King, is no more.
Shout out to her.
Allegedly, shout out to that woman.
Good woman.
How is she not there no more, my nigga? So you telling me she working on a stepdad for your kids? While you the new stepdad for Tamika Mallory's kids? Or are you her side nigga? I mean, inquiring minds want to know. And I know, Mice, you punching that punching bag real hard right now. Because this is the conversation that you did not want to come out. Oh no, you don't want to have this conversation, do you? The first line of defense in the black community is home. You ever heard that song? Things I miss at home. Yeah. Home is where the heart is, baby. It's no place like home.
And he didn't even do his homework correctly. Even when Martin Luther King and Coretta Scott was beefing, right? And they had all the FBI had the footage of the tapes and of Martin cheating. He still stuck it out. You know what I'm saying? And Mike's being on the front line. He knows that the family structure, the unit, is what needs to be seen. Especially
why would he hold on to his wife? His wife is broke. Tamika Mallory got the bag.
See, that's
why would he hold on to his wife? His wife is broke. Tamika Mallory got the bag. The bag. The bag. It is what it is.
He's for all commercial purposes. Industry guy. And he goes where the money goes. Like for real. Like, and that's why I can't mess with him, because you could be bought easily.
Only thing I gotta say in y'all situation is I would never be able to understand how he couldn't stand next to you, a felon, when Donald Trump is pardoning and standing next to felons. So you got more integrity than the president. As a matter of fact, Kamala Harris, the chick that you had the world voting for, you see what I'm saying? Yo, let me tell you something, man. Once I seen, after me and Mysonne spoke and I agreed not to beef with him, and then the riots broke out, and I seen Antifa like busting in banks and Tamika Mallory said, let AutoZone and Target burn. And I went out there and saw what was going on Fordham. And I said, yo, this is a government COINTELPRO like situation going on right here. And y'all not telling the people that Antifa is involved in this. Y'all about to set these kids up to do bids because these cameras ain't gonna go away. And once I saw that, I was like, nah, I can't deal with this nigga. It's something not right. Something just ain't right.
Yeah, man.
But you know what? It is what it is. Like, I be listening for your phone call. I know we supposed to get in the boxing ring and get it on, but I ain't never heard nothing else. Should I start training? And that's another thing too. Like, I'm not boo-boo the fool and I know my worth, so we definitely got to have a conversation about that bag.
Okay.
Definitely got to have a conversation about that bag.
He's the undercard.
Oh no, we got to be the main event unless we fighting up under Roy Jones or
when
something
it comes
like
to
that.
y'all battle, he's the undercard.
Oh, right.
He's the, you're the contender.
Yeah, I know, because he feel like I built my career off of him, but the truth of the matter is, his ego is way too big. I surpassed you, my nigga. But it is what it is. I'll be waiting for that phone call. I'll be waiting for that phone call. I see you out there working out, hitting the pull-up bar. Me, I'm still fat, my nigga. Let me know when to start training. It is what it is. Yeah. But I got another thing that I wanted to ask, another nigga I wanted to ask you about. Like, and this nigga right here. Like, how did you feel when you heard about Wack 100 going to your hood, pulling up Hummer stunting?
Honestly, I'm like I believe in God, right? And I think God, the reason, like, he took me out of there, that neighborhood, because I was in jail at the prison at the time, because, like, he know, like, if I would have seen Wack in my neighborhood, that Wack would have been, it would have been
kibbles and bits, my nigga.
Yeah, but it would have been a situation where, like Wack would have never forgot it. You know what I mean? He would have never forgot, like, the incident. That's all I'm gonna say, because you know how he is on this internet,
right?
You know, because he's coin and tell
pro
too.
Whoop. That's the sound of the police. Yeah, with
he's coin and tell pro, 100%. He just showed the badge the other day. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, and the thing that before that, he put my brother address out there. You know what I'm saying? Now, he playing games like that. So I really think that he is on some informative stuff, you know, and he's just here to cause confusion. So luckily, matter of fact, I probably would have did nothing high. So I think he police. I'm keeping it real, man. He police.
My whole thing is like this. I knew when he reached out to me and he started talking to me. I knew, first of all, when you understand my mindset, everybody in the industry is offsprings of the boule, the black boule.
Yes.
And I know they are puppets, piss boys for the Illuminati. I understand the new plantation. So when he started reaching out to me and he talking to me like first and foremost, this nigga, like you slandered every nigga. There was not one person that he did not slander. And I'm like, this nigga, he must think that I'm starstruck to where I cannot see through his setup. So it was on Valentine weekend. He was like, yo, get on a flight. And I almost started to get on a flight and shoot out there with them niggas. If I would have made my way out there with them niggas would have probably stomped me out. And bringing my wife. Yeah, bring your wife. Make you feel comfortable. Niggas probably would have 8-town stomped me out, because the whole time he was trying to get next to me was for them to humiliate me. So when I ended up sitting down with Tekashi, Wack, and academics, people like, oh, you sat down with a rat. First of all, I'm a podcaster. When I'm on this internet doing interviews, my main objective was to ask Tekashi 6ix9ine about why he told on Ish, which I did. But I couldn't really get off the way I wanted to, because now Wack 100 wanted to play the middleman and block everything that I was asking him. So, you know, I realized in that situation, I was supposed to get beat up on camera. But the way I move, I had a team of niggas with me. They outnumbered us, but while we were sitting there, more niggas was pouring in. But at the end of the day, it's like I said, when we were sitting at that table, when I asked Tekashi, I said, if your niggas got start getting it on with my niggas right now, and we start airing this rumor, are you gonna tell? And when you go to the footage, Wack 100 was like, why would you ask him something like that? What was supposed to happen was they were supposed to intimidate me where I wasn't supposed to be myself. I was supposed to look like a punk.
You went to LA?
Nah, we was in Jersey at Academics studio. Okay. So I was supposed to be intimidated, but I started to realize that Wack was deep cover, and one of his main objectives was to derail my career, because I was exposing, at this time I was the only nigga exposing celebrities the way I'm doing. Other people was doing celebrity gossip. I was coming for niggas' heads. If you did something that was questionable, I didn't care about your gangster status, I was coming at you. Jay Prince, I'm the first nigga that came at Jay Prince. Charleston White mimicked and copied and duplicated my whole style. I'm the first nigga that brought him to YouTube.
Who, Charleston?
Yeah, he started. Charleston was on YouTube with me and Timbo, Infomons. I did mad interviews with Charleston White. My videos ain't up no more, but you know, for the most part. So now you see the digital COINTELPRO coming in. If you pay attention to Wack 100, you'll see that Wack 100 focuses on dudes that is about pretty much uplifting and bringing awareness.
Yeah.
And that's me and Hocus. Me and Hocus.
Yeah.
Hocus
Shout out
started.
to Hocus 4/5.
Hocus had a big movement going on with the rabbit hole,
yeah.
And I had my thing, what I was doing on YouTube. So, but you know, I was way more powerful, or rather, they were showing it. My power on YouTube was ridiculous. Every time I was going live, you see a audience. I had the most people I had going live. I had 32,000 people watching me in my audience. Certain nights I have 17,000 people watching, 11,000, 20,000, 10,000 on the average. Then when they started messing with the channel, I might have between 7 and 5,000. Now it's like they barely trying to let me get 1,000 people in the building, kicking me off of my lives. But it is what it is. And I realized that the thing about it is, with Wack 100, academics told me that this was going to happen in my platform. Then Wack 100 admitted that they got technicians to actually do what they're doing to my platform.
Oh wow! So they got people controlling them.
Yeah.
Because your numbers is probably way more than that.
Yes, it is. They got people. They got somebody that's working at YouTube that's playing with my channel, and that's the bottom line to that. Yeah. They got somebody that's on the inside that's sabotaging me. And I was supposed to lose my channel when they first came at me, but I took all my videos down. Because even when I ghosted my channel out when you couldn't see it, I kept getting copyrights. So I took every video down, and that's what saved my channel.
Oh wow!
So now when you
they had somebody watching you with the magnifying glass just to even see if it was a mishap, so they could pull the channel. You know, have the excuse. They
go in the videos that nobody else could get to the flag, so I knew it was somebody behind the scene. So then I said, okay, well, you know, let me pull my videos down. And Wack tried to reach out to me when he was beefing with your brother, because he said when we started coming at him together, he hit me on the phone. I had just pulled up at my crib down south. I pulled up in the driveway. He's on the phone with me like, yo, because me and Swelly and Hocus was going at the nigga retardedly.
Shout out Swelly.
We going at him retardedly. So, you know, more or less, he tried to diffuse it because Wack 100, he wants to control the narrative. But his main objective, you got to ask yourself a question. What is his purpose? He's not managing. He's not creating no new groups. He's not managing nobody. He's just on the internet coming at certain personalities, which is me and Hocus. And Big U,
before he got locked up,
last words was, this nigga put me in jail.
Yeah.
You know, so it is what it is. So when I seen him going out there and trying to be an agitator with Hocus, I was like, wow, this is really deep. Even though I know he went outside in the wee hours when he knew it was nobody out there. When nobody ain't even paying attention. He ain't go out there 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock at nighttime with everybody standing in front of the building, standing in front of the corners. He knew what he was doing. But then you got to ask yourself a question. What millionaire does that? Nigga's supposed to be a millionaire.
No, I think he government. You know? And there's a lot of them that's government. These government people. And just because he represent a gang or whatever, it's government people in a gang. You understand that infiltrate. He's pushing an agenda that's like, for instance, y'all are positive on this internet. You talk about what you talk about, still, but at the end of the day, it comes back to a positive theme. Hulk is positive on this internet. Why would somebody come and want to knock that off? They don't want us enlightened. You understand? And he knows that. Because they are rewarded by our ignorance. When I say our, I'm talking about our people. That's in these ghettos in New York, Chicago, Miami, Atlanta. You know, they're rewarded by our ignorance. You know what I mean? He's getting rewarded. So at the end of the day, we know what we're dealing with. You know what I mean? Government people.
I call them niggas digital COINTELPRO.
Yes.
Even sometimes the niggas you argue. Like, you gotta understand something, man. Niggas ain't on the street corners no more. Niggas is on the internet. You think they ain't got agents on the internet to keep them informed on who's who and what's what? No, they watching. They watching. They get some of these dudes the same way they get paid to patrol the neighborhood. And I'm talking about niggas in the neighborhood. Some of these niggas is making $100,000 a year telling on what you doing in the community. What you think these niggas is making just being nosy watching you on the internet? The feds can't watch everybody. They got workers.
Right.
You know, so that's what that is. Bottom line to it is, Big U said what he said, and he meant it.
And I understand that to be the truth.
The truth should set you free.
Right.
Now, you said you did how much time in jail?
15 years, 9 months. 15 years, 9 months. Word. First time offender. Never been locked up. Never. They never had a record clean as a whistle.
So what was the charges?
They hit me with every charge in the book. Conspiracy in the first, conspiracy in the second, conspiracy in the third, conspiracy in the fourth. I had criminal sale of a controlled substance in the first, second, third. I had criminal possession of a controlled substance in the first, second, and third. I had a robbery in the first, robbery in the second, robbery in the third, a burglary in the first, a burglary in the second, burglary in the third. I had a conspiracy to robbery. I had a conspiracy to burglary. I mean, I had an assault in the second and assault in the third. They hit me with every charge in the book.
Well, Dad, was you a drug dealer or a goddamn burglar? Like, what the hell is this?
I was whatever the Cointel Pro wanted me to be. They got that indictment, and the sad part, they don't do this anymore, but they didn't give me all my charges and all, like, you know, they got to tell you exactly what you locked up for and how the situation happened. You know, their reason what happened. I didn't know that until maybe 2 months before trial. I sat on Rikers Island 4 years in limbo. Didn't know nothing. Just hostage. No bail, no nothing. Just a hostage.
Wow. So, okay, so in your, like, how many co-defendants did you have?
I had 23, and then they threw some other 2 dudes on my case from out of nowhere. It made it 25.
Did anybody tell?
You had people. You had one person that informed in the beginning, but then took it back. So in my case, technically, no, and that was a female.
Wow.
My hood stood up. Shout out to all the bros.
Wow.
And Hope always say this. Yo, I just mess with my codees because I know they always
stood tall.
They stood tall. All of them stood tall.
Okay.
Every last one, to the babies, to the ladies, except for that one chick, and then she took her statement back.
All right. So now, what was your state like? We was state or federal?
I was in the state. The feds kicked it back. They didn't want it.
Okay. So what was your state like on Rikers Island?
It was the worst shit I ever been through in my life. Excuse my language.
Take us to the journey, because you know, like, niggas need to know, understand. So what year was that when you was on Rikers Island?
I was locked up September 2008, but before that, I was locked up as a kid on Rikers Island 2001. So this was my second time on the island. First was as a kid, adolescent, and then the new time in 08 was as a young adult.
So now, so take us through those the moments of Rikers Island.
When I first got to Rikers Island, there's a beacon on it's a building on Rikers Island called the Beacon, right? And I heard nothing but the worst stories in the world about the Beacon. They took me off the street. I remind you, we was about to get signed. Bang Bang Boogie was about to get signed. My crew had 2 deals on the table. So they took me off the street, put me on Rikers Island, and they put me in the worst house ever. Right? As soon as I get there, because you got to do medical when you first go on Rikers Island, so they took my blood, whatever, had me tired out. They didn't feed me for 3 days, you know, going through the central bookings and everything. So when I finally get there, I'm tired, weak, and everything. Somebody knocked on my they put me in a cell 2 o'clock in the morning. It was a 44 cell area, right? So they put me in one of the cells. Dudes knocked on my door. Yo, what's your name? Who you be? And all this other stuff, right? That's called G checking. They G checking me. So I'm like, yo, my name S1, whatever, boom, boom, boom. So they was like, what are you? You know, blood, crip, or whatever. So whatever the case may be, once somebody heard my name, it was like, that's S1 from the Bronx, from Castle Hill. So then the word got around at 2 o'clock in the morning. People start waking up. Yo, S1 is such and such, such and such. Yo, it's such and such, such and such. I'm like, oh shit. These are people that I just left the street prior, like a year ago. They've been on Rikers Island, you know, waiting trial. So one dude was like, yo, when you come out, it's on. Just out of nowhere, he was like, it's on. You know what I mean? I'm like, I don't know this dude from nowhere. So my first experience as a donor on Rikers Island was, I'm about to get it on.
So what happened? Y'all ended up getting it on?
Nah. So I stepped out. And once he seen me, and he seen that who I was with, he was like, yo, like who I was affiliated with, who I know, he was like, yo, my bad, whatever, such and such, such and such. He didn't want to fight. Basically, he backed down. He didn't want to fight. You know what I mean? Word.
Yeah,
but it's very rough on it now.
Yeah, it's funny because you know certain houses I went in when niggas don't know who you is. The nigga screamed out one day, "Dead man walking." Brought my bag in, dropped it in my cell, closed my cell, came out, and just waited. And it was like, okay, yeah, this nigga been dead. He been bitten. We just said this to the wrong nigga. Like, yeah, the wrong nigga. But so now going into trial. When you got that verdict and they said guilty, how did it make you feel?
All right, so checking. So going through that process, right? So first they said they had a partial verdict. They was like, you want to read the partial verdict? We was like, no, we want the full verdict. Because I had 3 codees on trial. Shout out to my brother Dollar and 2-5. You know, he's still locked up. He's still working on his appeal. But we was like, no, we want the whole verdict all together. So when the whole verdict came, and they did my brother, he was not guilty on everything. My heart, I just felt free.
Wow.
Right? And then they did me. They said conspiracy in the first. That holds, at the time, 15 to life. Not guilty. So that right there, I was like, all right, I'm not getting life. Right? So I felt good. Conspiracy in the second, not guilty. Oh shit, no 8 in the third to 25. Then they said conspiracy in the third, not guilty. I said, all right, I ain't getting the 2.5 to 7. Conspiracy in the fourth, guilty. I was like, all right, nothing, that's 1 to 3. Robbery in the first, guilty. I said, what? Now that's 5 to 25 years. So I'm like, all right, so nothing to laugh at. And then they dropped the burglary, right? Because remember I told you I had the burglary charge. They've been dropped that. Then the assault, they said guilty. So I'm like, all right, 2.5 to 7. And then all the drug sales, guilty. The sales and the possessions, guilty. So I was like, all right, the most I'm gonna get is about 10 years. I'm a first-time offender. You know, maybe even less than that, 8. I had a smirk on my face. That judge made me pay, man. Because I had the smirk on my face. She sentenced me consecutively.
Ooh.
So she's hit me with 11 years, and then 4 for the assault, and then 4 for each drug sale, and said, yo, you got to do 11. Then after the 11, you got to do your 4. And then after the 4, you got to do another 4. Yeah, man. So that's,
they don't normally do that. Yeah, she
didn't like me. I had a smirk on my face.
Wow.
And she made me pay. She made me pay.
Oh.
Word. And I'm trying to I want to see her. I want to talk to her because she thought she took something away from me, but you actually saved my life, and that's another conversation. You know what I mean? She actually saved my life.
Nah, you gotta expand on that. Like how you feel she, and I know what you mean, but you gotta break it down for the people that really don't understand, like how she saved your life by giving you that time.
All right. So when I was out in the street, I was an open book. I don't care who you was. I would have gave you the shirt off my back. I gave you all the money in my pocket. You understand? I was rolling with 150 deep. I don't know if you remember back in the days. We used to roll like 200 deep. We was mobbing, right? Yeah. Once she gave me that time and I seen how many people supported me for real, it was way less than that 200, maybe 5. So 195 people was around me that I finally could see that they don't care about me, which made me say, you know what? Because I felt like I owed it to my community for supporting me through my hip hop, through anything I wanted to do. My community supported me, so I just felt obligated. And once I get hit with that time, and once I realized that nobody really cares about you, that life continues and it goes on, not even the people that I love, not even the woman that I make love to cared about me. So that was the biggest. I would have paid highs. I would have paid for that foresight back then. Instead of experiencing it. So that's how she saved my life. She let me see who really cared about me.
So, how much time did your shorty do with you before she blew it on you?
2 years. Blew it on me when I was on Rikers Island.
And this is the meat and the potatoes. Because I was listening to a few, but I listened to a little bit of Albial, and I was listening, shout out to Albial. I was listening to him tell his story, and it was like how he was on, how his brother died, and he was talking about how his brother really wanted to talk to him, but he was chasing shorty.
I seen that.
And, make a long story short, I be trying to make niggas understand that when you in jail, and you go to jail, the same niggas that you think is a sucker be having your girl with when you in jail, another nigga got your girl toes throwing up gang signs Her legs is cocked wide open. Her legs is cocked wide open.
Right.
And she is molly whopping a nigga while you sitting in there. And it's like, I be trying to make niggas understand. A lot of niggas lost what they thought was the love of their life when they went to jail. And it's like, how do you glorify something that's so painful? You know, niggas be knowing
right.
the thoughts of another nigga. Cause how that song go? I keep on thinking that another nigga been holding you.
But you want to know something? These females nowadays, they're easily manipulated because of the social media, of the YouTube presence. So they can look and see, damn, to hear stories about dudes never coming home. It was said that I was going to even come home. I'm not even supposed to be here. I was supposed to never come home. And she believed the narrative, I believe. And she was still young too, so I forgive her today. Because at the time I was immature. I was just like, F that chick and all this other stuff. But, you know, she was young. You know, I'm still young. She was young. She was 2 years younger than me. So I understood that life goes on. And prison in that time made me grow up. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? As one person leave, another person come. I got married. You know what I'm saying? Right. I still had the females that liked me back then, still writing me and stuff like that. So I didn't lose out. Like I still had good women that were still in contact with me and was like, "What you want to do? You want to marry me? You want to whatever?" I had my pick of the litter while I was in prison, and that's the blessing from the man upstairs. You know, when you do right, you get right.
So now you get up north, right? Mm-hmm. What was that world like when you got upstate? When I got up north, first I went to downstate. So I get to downstate, seeing how it is. I'm like, yo, I already knew how Rikers Island was because it was gang mentality central as far as the people that I knew I was gonna have to deal with, right? Because I went up north at 28, right? 27, 28. When you between 16 and 39, you a target up north. Young, black, male, strong, you know, no scratches on your face. You got a reputation. Even the gangsters are gonna test you. So I knew that I was gonna have problems my whole bid. Because I'm not with none of the bull stuff. I'm not with none of the bullshit. I'm not with none of you ain't gonna extort me. You heard? You're not gonna tell me what to do. I already heard all the stories. So I came up with the defiant attitude. You understand? So at the end of the day, I get up north and I see who was running the show. It's a completely backwards world. You see the guys that's out there in the street right now that you consider fiends or like people that's like just the bottom of the neighborhood. They are the kings in jail. Mm-hmm. So, but they don't look like the ones that you left in the street. They got bigger. You know, they eat more healthier. They knocked a few people out. They might even stabbed a few people. They running the show. So I seen that the people that are nothing out here in the street runs the show. It was a different mentality. Now I gotta wait. Hold on. This is all role playing and acting, but it's serious though. You know what I'm saying? Because this guy really know he can't mess with me on the street, but in jail you got the whole army. You got to start your whole reputation starts all over when you go to jail. Mm-hmm. And one thing I learned, you know, through stories of me being on Rikers Island, there was times where there was certain dudes that there was a dude that was on the island. He got violated. They jumped him, tore him up. Nigga went up north first. Knew a lot of niggas from his hood up there. Mm-hmm. Got real strong up there. Every last one of them niggas that tore his ass up, he tore up when they got up north. Mm-hmm. Every last one of them. Like, people don't understand what you do on Rikers Island will follow you up north. It will. And you land in the wrong jail in the wrong house, you're done.
Yeah. So I was already in contact with so many people up north, right? Because when I was on Rikers Island, I was in contact with the so-called shot callers or whatever. So I basically had like they know I was coming, basically. People knew I was coming up north.
Oh, so you was established
I was established before I even stepped in Sing Sing, because they sent me to Sing Sing. That was my reception. It was Sing Sing. After downstate, went to Sing Sing for transit, and I seen how the cell blocks look. And once I stepped foot in the cell block, a piece of my soul left me.
What you mean? You got to break that down.
All right, the people that have been in prison, they know what I'm talking about. When they put you in a 5x7 cell and close that door, when they close that door, and then mentally you're going to be here for the next 12, 15, 20, 30 years, your soul leaves you. You're not the same person that your mom raised or your dad raised. You're not the same person that was going to play basketball in a back park. Nah, this is serious business, man.
You ever thought to yourself, how am I going to make it through this?
Every day. And the best advice I got was from my man, B.I. Shout out to B.I. He said, yo, take it one day at a time. Something that simple. That's how I made it home. One day at a time.
So now, what was your almost breaking point where you was like, yo, I can't do this again? Like, this is not for me. Because you know what? For some people, or did you experience that? Because some people had to go to jail more than once to say, I can't do this no more.
My breaking point was when I lost my brother, my number one supporter. When I lost my brother, I was like, yo, I gotta be strong for my family, because a big part of the family is gone. You understand? So now, and he passed away, God bless him, Reem, God bless my brother. He passed away when I had 10 years left. You understand? So now it's like, every day I feel it. Like I feel it, like I gotta be there for my family. I gotta be there for my family. But you can go crazy just having that on your mind for 10 years straight. So I was like, let me do something productive. You know what I'm saying? Let me, matter of fact, let me use my powers to help dudes get into college and let me speak nothing but positivity. So when I put it out there, even if I'm behind bars, it's gonna resonate with somebody. You understand? Right. A lot of people don't want to hear that. They want to hear the negative, the violence. They want to hear people just want to be used in prison. And some people right now, they look for reputation. They'll cut, stab, whoever, just to have that reputation. So I said, let me help reverse some of this thinking. Let me interject and let me put some of the goodness in me out there to the people. I know it ain't going to resonate with everybody. But you know what? Some people are going to follow, and some people are going to change their lives based on what I'm saying and what I'm preaching. And I did that.
So, all right, so let me ask you a question. So, we got some young boys looking right now, and they saying they on their way to jail. You're going to jail. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. You are going to jail. You know what you're doing, and it's only a matter of time before you get caught. What would be your advice? Like, what is it going to be like? Like, what is the things that you would tell the young boys to stay away from when they get to prison in order for them to not get stabbed up and survive?
They got a saying, you stay away from the 3 G's. Stay away from the gambling, stay away from the gays, and stay away from the gays, gambling, and gangs. Wait, gays, gambling, and gangs. Stay away from the 3 G's.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. So you stay away from the gays because it can cause a lot of confusion in there. If your name had one bit of smear of you messing with one of the trannies or anything like that, your own people are turning you in a heartbeat. That's automatic termination. You know what I'm saying? So gambling, a lot of people get caught up. And let me tell you something, I gambled a lot when I was in prison, right? But I always had the money to back. Like I knew my gambling, you know?
Right.
And my gambling was petty. Some people get into, believe it or not, $3,000, $7,000, $10,000 debts in prison, right? Yo, for real, it's like that. You know what I mean? It's that kind of money running around, and you can't pay that debt. It's over. And gangs, the gang culture. Now listen, what y'all see out here as far as the gang, because a lot of people, they never left their neighborhood, so they don't know the gangsters in Brownsville. They don't know the gangsters in Staten Island, Queens, or even places of Harlem, even in the Bronx. That's even 10 blocks away. When you get to prison, y'all all there. It's gladiator school, right? Everybody is testing everybody. I don't care if you shot 15, 20 people. I don't care if you killed 5 people. It'd be a dude that never killed nobody that's running a show and somebody slap you around or try to slap you around. So every day you got to prove yourself when you're in the game. You can't win. You can't win. You could do, I did 5,500 days in prison. Every day I got to prove myself every single day if I'm gangbanging. Every day. Do you know what type of torture you putting yourself through? You got to prove yourself every day.
That the crazy part about it is like the violence. I know for me on Rikers Island, the 3 years that I did on Rikers Island, I know that the war between the Spanish and black is what actually made my bed go by faster, because it was always something going on. So it was like the slowest time you had was in the box.
Yes.
That's why I couldn't even understand this. It was like niggas would go to the box and it was like, how you do 10, 20 years in the box, my nigga?
I know a dude did 25 years in the box.
How?
I know another dude did 22 years in the box.
It's like you. For me personally, I feel like I've seen dudes get busy and get time in the box, but I also seen dudes in population get more busy than niggas in the box and get away with it.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? It's like
sometimes the box is a cop out.
Yeah, you
right?
air a nigga out like. You airing niggas out in front of the police like you wanted to go. Then when it's time for you to get out of the box, you do something to stay in the box. It's like, you know, you done turned the box into protective custody. And for anybody that has family members and like to get on the phone and like, first of all, some of the funniest niggas in the world is in jail.
Thanks. I met them.
You standing there, you meet some of the dopest people, some of the dopest. Listen, anybody will fall in a situation where you can end up in jail. Some of the dopest personalities you gonna meet in jail, and then some of the worst personalities you gonna meet in jail.
Everything's intensified times 10. So if he's a bad person in the street, he's 10 times worse in jail. You know. So
have you ever been in a situation in the jail where you felt like it was about to go down, and it was like, yo, you on pins and needles? You know you're gonna go, but you on pins and needles. Like, yo, this could get real bad.
Of course, every time. Like so. Every 2 years, I like to say, there's always a big gang war. Like somehow, like all the isolated incidents, they culminate, right? This guy got cut over here, then this guy got cut in this jail. Like remember, in New York, there's 57 prisons. So sometimes it takes a while for information to travel. And the information is traveling as other people are going to different prisons, going to the box. The box is a place where it's a network. So, yo, what jail you just came from? This is me talking to somebody else that's in the box. Yo, you came from Attica? Yo, what's going on in Attica? Oh, word? That's what happened in Attica? They cut little Tim or whoever, right? So now I take that to my next jail and I get at somebody that didn't, not the dude who cut Tim, but maybe his people, his gang. You understand? So it takes a while for the stuff to build up, but when it builds up and it mounts, oh man. So every 2 years that happens, and I seen it from I thought I had nothing to do with nothing, but just being affiliated with some guys automatically put me in it. And then I'm a guy that was popular, right? People knew me. So now it's like, oh, he's target enemy number one when it comes to certain things. So, and you can't cop out. As much as I want to say, yo, man, I don't want no problems. You heard? I just want to do my time and go home. Nah, none of that. No cop-outs. You gotta either put on or somebody gonna put it on you. You know what I'm saying? And you just got choices to make. You know what I'm saying? But I also had good people vouching for me. And shout out to all my people that was with me in prison, so many to name. You know what I'm saying? Like people from Queens, people from Brooklyn, Bronx, Harlem, wherever. A lot of good people had good things to say about me. All organizations. So I was protected, you know, more than the average person, but still I wasn't exempt. You know.
What was like, yo? What was the worst situation you've seen happen with the police in there?
I seen police kill somebody. I seen them kill somebody, beat them to death. You heard? But he didn't die right away. He didn't die right away. He died a little while after. You know, he didn't heal properly and died. But the police, let me tell you something. The prisons is where, see, prison is how America really is, right? Out here, you got to be subtle with their racism. And they're just straight racist. So they don't like us because of this.
Right.
They don't know your character. They don't know me. They don't know you. So them officers don't like you because of this. And now the sad part is they start to indoctrinate our people, because now a lot of our people that's our color, Spanish, blacks, or whatever, our race and ethnicities, they started working in prison, so they're learning from these white people that's turning them, right? Them racist white people, not all white people are racist, not all the white people, correctional officers are racist, but majority of them are racist. So what they do is they indoctrinate our people, and our people even worse on us now, you know, than the white people was. The COs in there, a lot of them, especially if they up north, man, because this was happening, Haas. Before, you would go to a jail if you're a correctional officer close to your region, right? So if I lived in New York City and I'm a correctional officer, a state correctional officer, I'll work in Sing Sing or jail down here. Now they're not even doing that. They sending them to mix it up. They sending them straight to Attica.
Wow.
Yeah, they're sending them straight to Clinton.
Matter of fact, didn't you have a beef like you had a gripe going on with the COs on the internet? They was mad because you was telling stories.
Yeah, they was mad. They were trying to shut me down so much. I'm good with my pen. That's when I learned the power of legal work and paperwork. When you nice and you can articulate yourself, nice with your pen, and you know how to write and you know how to interpret the law and spit it back at them, they hate you. You're the biggest threat in the world. So once I start learning to think not just with the fist but with the pen, they slid away from me.
So what's some of the stories that got them pissed off with that they didn't want you to tell the ugly side? Because, you know, me and my experience on Rikers Island, I don't know if Rikers Island is the same anymore. I heard it was different. But in my days, like, you just wasn't going to cut somebody and think that it was just all... Like, the ERU, the Turtles would come in and stomp you, like, into a neck. Yo, they would stomp you to the point where you'd be screaming for your mama.
Yeah.
And a lot of niggas don't understand that. Like, and I from what I understand, like, they real Orange Crush is real serious. I don't know if Orange Crush is still around.
No, they got SRT now. So what they got is, for instance, if something happened in the prisons now, they'd call the SRT people from other jails to come in and rush and regulate the prisons. That was happening a lot. And when that happens, they shut down the prison for a week, 2 weeks. Nobody can use the phone. They do the most humiliating searches in the world. They strip you butt naked, have you lined up. It's like being on a slave ship again, but just in modern times. Line up behind the next man, your yang out, his butt right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's literally, right? And then people started complaining about that. So now they tell you can keep your boxers on. But then, then they privately strip search you. But before, they just have you all butt naked, lined up, lift up your this, do that. And you damn near like touching the next man. You understand? They're humiliating you like that. And if you say anything, they'll beat you senseless. It was a Mexican dude. This dude basically didn't speak English. He didn't speak English. So they giving him commands and he can't respond. You understand? Because he don't understand English. So they asked him, what cell you are? The dude said 38, right? They beat him senseless. Now listen, the police always ask him what his cell. He doesn't understand that though. He can't just communicate the language, but he knows where his cell is at. But when he said in English 38 instead of saying it in Spanish, they beat him senseless. They pushed his face to the wall. His nose instantly broke, and I don't know what happened, but it just started like spitting out mist of blood all over. Next, shit got on my arm. I'm like, oh. They're like, you don't move. So I gotta take this nigga blood squirting, his shit is on me. They beating him senseless. And you on the wall like this. Can't do nothing, just on the wall. And you just like, damn, I don't even want to make the wrong mistake, even moving wrong, because they're gonna whip my ass too. It's them type of stories up there. And I was telling them stories over the phone. And they started clipping my phone calls. Then they started calling me to the lieutenant office because Hocus had a platform and stuff like that. So they was monitoring me and watching me because they know who's who and what's what you're affiliated with. So they're like, yo, why you telling your brother the stories and this and that and whatever? Because they didn't know if Hope was going to tape it, you understand, and put it out on the internet. Because they scared of bad press.
Wow, so they basically was like, yeah, that's what a lot of people don't fail to realize, that your jail phone calls are recorded. Everything that you say inside that jail is recorded.
Yes, it's recorded and looked at. And they have key phrases that if I say bomb right now, they're going to record my whole conversation. Then they're going to go look back. If I'm in jail, they're going to look back at the conversation. What the bomb? You understand? Because that's a key word. So they got key words and phrases that they automatically record you and send a signal to Albany to, look at that conversation. Look at the transcripts of that conversation. They got us. They're watching us crazy.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So coming home from jail, you know, when you look back at all the time that you did, like, you know, how do you feel the S1 of today, like coming home from jail, just being home? How do you feel?
One, I feel misunderstood, right? Because I have a certain demeanor that this is what other people say about me. That's like so nonchalant and it's so like I like see past people, right? And they think that I'm acting funny, but really I'm not used to the socialization yet. I've been home a year, right? But it's still, I'm not used to like being in a place and not being on point. You understand? Like, say if I go to a cookout, I recently went to a cookout and I'm just sitting there, I'm just looking around and I'm just waiting for something to pop off because I've been living like this for the last 15 years, 9 months. Not that I'm going through PTSD, but I'm like, I don't know how to just idly chill. You understand? And just have a drink and sit down and I feel like I got to be on point. So maybe that's good, maybe that's bad, but I feel like the prison, it kind of taught me how to just be aware of your surroundings.
You still have, you always have to be aware of your surroundings out here because barbecues, cookouts, like concerts, everything then got shot up out here. So it's like, you definitely gotta even funerals, nothing to say. But let me ask you a question. You have any kids?
Yep, I got one son.
So,
Lil Reef, what up?
How you feel about your son? Like, would you want your son to be in the gang?
No. If it's a positive gang, if it's a excuse me, I don't like the word gang. If it's an organization that's positive and they're doing positive things, of course. But if it's what we tend to think of what gangs are, like the negative spot, the Bloods, Crips, Latin Kings, I don't want my son a part of anything.
Now,
and shout out to all them gangs, but I just don't want my son a part of it.
And here's the thing, right? Well, a lot of people get mad at me when I talk about gang. I was there from the beginning. And what started off as a Spanish and black war going on, as blacks dominated, we became oppressors over each other. And then what I started to see was every dirty, shiesty nigga got in the whip. And this is one of the first conversations that I had when me and X came home, because we came home from jail back to back. It was the discussion that we had. I was like, yo, dogs. I felt like, first of all, in the streets, we were somebody. And I just didn't like being affiliated. That's why it was so easy for me to, say, all right, I'm walking away from this gang shit. I'm going to just be me. Because my whole thing is, when I say I'm riding with you, I'm riding with you. I'm seeing niggas, this one got shot by this one over here. Y'all not riding. Like, y'all not even holding to the principle of blood in, blood out. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, in the streets it's different. Now, in jail, a nigga get aired out, and you don't put that work in,
they're gonna ride on you.
You gonna get rolled on. But in the streets, that ain't none of our business.
So the famous word is isolated incident. That's an isolated incident. It ain't got nothing to do with me.
Like, nah, I can't be a part. It's either we all in it together, or we not all in it together. And then on top of that, it's like, it's too many things in the streets that niggas get away with that they shouldn't get away with. And playing the cleanup man in the street will get you the rest of your life in jail.
Yes.
Playing cleanup. Because if I'm in it, I gotta be top dog. There is no like, yo, I gotta answer. This is the big. No, like, first of all, I put in too much work, especially back in the days, for me to be somebody's little nigga. You see what I'm saying? And when we grew up, it's always been somebody that's raised us, or we looked up into in the street, and then you hit that plateau where it's like, for me, I tell niggas, I stay antagonizing niggas. My whole thing is, if you got a big homie, he should be able to sleep with your wife. You ain't the big homie. If you got a big homie, like, how do you explain having I gotta be the big homie. I can't be a nigga that's in my 40s. And the 20-year-old is the big that's absurd to me.
No, but peep this, right? See, the thing is this: the intentions of some of the big homies, right? Whether they in their 40s, 50s, or even 20s, sometimes that's any game. It can become abusive to the point where, because you gotta understand, when you're in a authoritative position, right, and when you're controlling people by with your words and telling people what to do, it gives you some type of power, right? And power, it just brings corruption, right? So the whole thing is, like, the thing about gangs right now in New York City, they there's no direction, right? So that's why I wouldn't want my son involved, because there's not too much direction with a lot of these gangs. Now, I'm not at every gang meeting. I don't know the agenda of everybody. But if you look at the grand scheme of things, how many stores do we own, right? How many cars do we own? How many businesses do we own? Do we even own? Can we even get our sons a job? You understand? Like you understand? Like what are we doing? You know? Because if you provided them type of services, then by all means, you know. But if you just here to destroy the quality of life, you just here to just be chilling in front of the building and smoke and just sell drugs and disrespect the tenants. Not saying all gang members do that, because they don't, you know. But you got to know what you're about and what's your agenda. You understand? And a lot of times, the gangs got too big. See, the gangs usually in New York was just blocks, right? I'm from this block. We the Randall boys. We the Lacombe boys, we the Harvard Ave boys, or crew or whatever. But then now when you say you connect it to a national gang like the Bloods, right? Because even the dudes out of LA, I'm not saying that all of them are don't know what they're doing, but they didn't really have too much of an agenda. You know, now they go to Hollywood with their agenda. You know, we're gonna talk about our crew or whatever. We're shooting movies. You know, at least they turn into a commercial profit, right? But over here on the East Coast, it's like, I guess people started doing now. They're starting to do more documentaries and stuff like that. But we don't have an economic power structure. So how the hell are we going to have be of any threat, or even not even a threat? How are we going to be of any use to our community when we don't even have an economic power structure? And you get nothing without that. And the way it's going, we just hurting each other, cutting this dude because of some shit that happened in the street and just retaliation against each other. There's no money to be made. There's no opportunity. I don't want to join something where I'm automatically subjected to get my face cut. You know what I'm saying? For nothing. You know?
See, that's the key
shot
to it.
For nothing.
That's the key to it too with a lot of dudes, right? It is like, well, I feel like a lot of dudes don't want to see me win, so they won't stand next to me. And they can't. But if a lot of niggas stood next to me, we actually could branch off and make some really power moves. Adam 22 came to New York, okay, and I seen some official niggas standing out there that I know is official niggas standing out there with him, and they walking around with a nigga that his platform took down one of the biggest niggas in the United States, Big U. Mm-hmm. This is a legendary name. This is a nigga that has California organized, and with the extortion ring. I say allegedly, right? And you know, when I look at these New York niggas, it's like, okay, so, or we just need a little help. I offered some of you niggas help, but you want it from the white man.
It's the look, right? Because so look, let me just tell you something, Hans. I think I told you before, but I'm gonna put it out there and tell the people. I was a part of those conversations as far as when they were trying to organize it and bring them dudes out there from Cali to shoot the video with a bunch of homies and stuff like that. I mean, I listened. And what I could have brought to the table, and what they wanted me to bring to the table, and I didn't do it. You understand? Because one, I don't put that type of energy out there. So that could have been me in that video. You understand? With the crew behind me, and I didn't. How that's gonna help us? You feel me? But I understand everything is about a look, Haas. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times these dudes are just going with what could get them popular real fast or whatever. You understand what I'm saying? And me personally, I didn't do it. You know, I kindly declined. I'm like, that's not my thing. You know what I'm saying? But I don't knock Shay Davis on for doing that. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Shay Davis.
Shay Davis a good dude. You know, because Shay is a good dude. It was his entertainment purposes, obviously, for Shay. You know what I'm trying to say? And just to show unity and show strength amongst the coast. But at the end of the day, a dude like me, I can't show and flex that kind of power because I'm going to really scare Precinct. You understand? Because they're going to think that, yo, this dude is back outside. You feel me? So I couldn't, that's why I backed away from that, you know?
So my whole thing is for them, all the brothers that was out there, like, what makes me mad about guys like that is they don't understand the power that they already have. How do you get 1,000 niggas to come outside and don't see the potential that you have? If you could get 1,000 niggas to come outside, somebody knows how to fix a bike, somebody knows how to fix a car, somebody's a janitor, somebody's a trained conductor, somebody has every aspect of life. So now you sit down with these niggas and you ask them, what are you good for? What could you contribute to this table? And right there at that moment, in front of this camera, the same camera that Adam brought, we all have this in our pocket. This is what I'm shooting this video with. With a stand right in front of us, and it starts right there. Everybody has a story to tell. And right now, you are listening to the story of S1. And you see what I'm saying? And some of them dudes that were sitting out there, I know they got stories to tell. Niggas that did, like, the feds versus the state. This one went to the feds. This one went to the state. This one had this indictment. This one had that indictment. This one, you know what I mean? Everybody has a story to tell. We don't need the colonizer to come back in and take anything else from us because they always come in to our communities and leave with the bag while we standing there looking stupid.
But then they'll say, somebody like Adam will say, but I'm helping out the people. Like, you really, if you're helping out some people, you ain't helping out the majority of the people. Actually, because the rappers, yeah, you might help them out, right? But you're not helping out the average person that was standing out there that really lived that life. And you helping him get indicted.
Hold up.
You heard me?
I'm glad you said that, right? Because I said this story in my live, not the last one, but the one before that. So the 4 Extra dude, he's outside with Adam 22, 4th of July, blows his hand off.
What do you mean?
Nigga, yo, and I'm going to say it again, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to say it again, right? Nigga blew his head. Listen, 4 Extra, I'm not laughing at you, but I'm laughing at you, right? Because here's the thing. You standing outside, and I'm from New York. Back in the days, we had the pay phones. When we wanted quarters, we take the lighter, stick the M80, the blockbuster in the phone, boom, boom, boom. So I'm sitting up there laughing at you because we knew that once you lit that wick, you better be far away from that stick of dynamite. That's a half a stick of dynamite, my nigga. So I'm laughing because I'm just sitting up there saying, I'm not laughing at you, my nigga, but I gotta ask you, listen, 4 Extra, was you high or was you drunk? That's all I want to know, my nigga. Was you high or was you drunk when you lit that half a stick of dynamite, my nigga? Inquiring minds want to know.
Oh, he was with Adam?
So now he's with Adam, and Adam puts up a GoFundMe. Or rather, he puts up a GoFundMe for $28,000, and I'm watching. So after a while, Adam donates $1,000, $28,000 for his, I guess, a surgery or hospital bill. My whole thing is, dogs, you a millionaire. You got your buddy, your gang member, and your worker at the same time. You outside with this nigga. And you got these niggas around you. I know you got them around you because you was a master manipulator. Because you know Big U wants your whole platform gone. So now you keeping niggas around to keep you afloat. This nigga blows his hand off and you donate $1,000. And this is the nigga that all you dudes was running around with. A nigga that his platform took down the biggest nigga in California. And then when you start to watch, he got him and the Haitian dude beefing with each other. 4 Extra basically backs the nigga down on the platform where you don't see that happen allegedly, but Dog's telling you, he like, yo, this nigga surrounded me and all that. He talking to me all types of crazy. Then allegedly the nigga put the mojo on him. That's probably where his head going. But it is what it is. This is just part one of our interview. We done gave y'all a whole hour. And stay tuned. S1, what is your platform? What's your information?
YouTube at S-1BX. You can type in S-ONE to search my name or whatever. You see the content. Right now we getting our subscribers up. You know, me and Haas, we definitely working. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I'm just grateful that I'm able to tell my story the way I want to tell it with an official person. You feel me? And I just want to say thank y'all, man.
And we ain't even get into his stories. We just breaking the ice right now. Mm-hmm. And what's your Instagram?
The real _ S1 page. So the real _ S, the number 1 page. The real S1 page.
Y'all stay tuned. Hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button, and pay attention to your circle before they hurt you. We out.